everyone to the Oils and Fats webinar. How are you? Good to see you.
Yeah, very good. Thanks. Busy end of November. Everybody's finalizing their budgets for the next year. And I think it was quite handy that we published a lot of end of the year reports for various commodities. Right. So message Maria or just go to the platform to find them. Oh yeah, exactly. I think it popped up now. The outlook for 25, 26. So I think it's been quite helpful for the companies to, in terms of finalizing their budgets. But it's been very busy. So I can imagine the same on your side.
Yeah, definitely. I think finishing a lot of projects before the end of the year, we will all have a nice break, right, for some vacation. So yeah, just pushing a bit before that. And indeed, we launched the reports, end of year reports with a summary of 2025 and also an outlook of 2026. We launched it for different categories or industries. So you can click here and see the one for oils and fats, but also you can go on LinkedIn. If you follow Vesper, then you can also find them there. They have been built by our marketing team together with the data research, so the analyst, and it's a really nice piece of information for you guys to have a look and see what we can expect in the coming months, and how we can also finalize 2025, right?
Exactly. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I know that, of course, about the oils and fats report, but also there were separate reports for industries. I think chocolate, we've got bakeries, confectionery. So
pizza,
yeah.
pizza, pasta as well.
Exactly. So some flour data there, tomato paste. So we didn't just make it per commodity, but also per industry.
Indeed.
These are very nice tailored reports. So if you haven't seen them, go and check them.
Yeah, thanks. I know you have been working, of course, on this. So thanks, German, for the work. And for today, we will try to cover what has been happening in the market, right, lately. I think we are going to cover different topics, the sentiment around the palm oil prices, the EUDR sentiment as well, the large soy oil purchases by India, rapeseed supply, and also what's going on with sunflower oil prices. So we can kick off. If you guys have questions, feel free to use the public chat in your screen. We will try to reply as much as we can, of course. And otherwise, you can also reach out to us later if we don't have the time to reply to everyone. But German, perhaps we can start. We like starting with palm. We normally do that. So I think palm has been interesting in the recent weeks, right? As basically the market has been receiving both bearish and bullish signals, to be honest. Have prices, in your view, chosen a path?
Yeah, that's, I think, a good way to describe it, because indeed mixed signals were coming. I'm just gonna share my screen and then go to futures section and choose palm oil price. Palm oil group. So indeed, yeah, so it was interesting because there was this drop in the price closer to the end of October based on some bearish signals, but at the same time, there were some conferences where various analytical houses were sharing their views that palm oil should basically take a bullish path. So it's been a bit, I wouldn't say confusion for the market, but a lot of information has been coming into the market. So what's been happening recently that everybody's trying to estimate the S&D for Malaysia for November. And at the moment, it looks quite bearish that because stocks in Malaysia could have increased by around 8%. I think that's the highest estimate. So very strong increase in inventory because of the slower demand by importing countries. That's probably, in the view of the market, can put some pressure on palm oil prices in the coming weeks. So maybe some let's say buyers need to watch this space. But at the same time, as I mentioned, during conferences that took place recently, some bullish outlooks were shared by analysts for Q1 specifically.
Mhm. Can you elaborate perhaps a bit more on that part?
Yes, exactly. So for Q1, I think various companies that deliver speeches at conferences in Asia, they shared an opinion that the current price of the BMD, which is $980 ish on the spot, could reach $1,050 in Q1 on average, and that could be driven by the seasonal decline in production, demand for Chinese New Year, also demand for Ramadan, which both will take place in February, lower total vegetable oil stocks in India, and also quite attractive palm oil price. Because if we look at palm oil price in comparison to other prices, and I'm just going to share my screen and show you, and I'm going to go to price comparison. 1 second. And then if we take, for example, let's say India, and India is because it's the largest buyer of veg oils, soybean oil crude, I'm going to choose Indian CIF price as well. And then I'm going to build a spread. So for those who don't know, here's the spread sign. If you want to see just the price difference, click generate the spread. And then I'm going to get rid. So you can see that the spread has been growing. So palm oil is now much cheaper than soybean oil. This makes it very attractive. So, and then we will be in the situation that production will likely be lower in the coming month. Demand will be good and the price is attractive. So yeah, I think I would tend to agree with this analyst that there is a good chance that palm oil prices will start recovering in the current in the coming month. So probably we get asked when it's good timing to buy. Maybe it's good to wait till bearish S&D gets published for November, and prices could be under some pressure, and then maybe some contracts with suppliers could be reconsidered. But then after that, in Q1, indeed, there is a good risk of the upside price direction.
Yeah, I understand. I think this is a bit related to the questions that we got in the chat. They are in French, but somehow I understand French, so I can help. Basically, Amani is asking if they have to buy, or you think it's a good time to buy in Q1 palm oil. And then the other question is if in Q2 they should also, if you think that they should also do some purchases for CPKO and also palm, or if perhaps it's better to wait. In your view.
Normally we don't give buying recommendations, we just share our opinion. I think it's very important. So but I think as I said, it's good to buy palm oil probably in the coming weeks in December, when it gets potentially a little bit lower, because in Q1, as we said, it could get more expensive. And then in Q2, when production recovers, there could be another price decline. So probably buying, it would be good to buy either now or maybe in a few weeks, or in Q2, but not in Q1. That's based on what we see at the moment. The situation can change. And for the CPKO, the prices now are much lower. but they started rebounding. So I think CPKO prices are much more attractive now. And because of the potential EUDR postponement, there might be more demand for CPKO coming soon. So I would say maybe some purchasing of the CPKO now could be also advantageous.
Okay. Well, I hope that that helps, Amani. Thanks for the questions. All right, German. That's pretty interesting, actually. Prices might be under pressure in the coming weeks, but they may recover from January onwards. What about the EUDR? Has a decision been made about the postponement?
Yeah, exactly. So we, of course, monitor the news as everyone, and a lot of noise has been coming regarding the EUDR.
There has been noise in the last 2 years about this.
The last 2 years, exactly. But basically, last week, the European Parliament voted in favor of the delay of the UDR by 1 more year and simplification. So basically, large companies, they will need to comply from December 30, 2026, and then small enterprises from 30th of June 2027, so later than large organizations. It still, I think, needs to be negotiated with EU Council, so it's not done yet. But I read basically a comment by the source called ESG. They also do some publishing on this topic, and they said that the positions of the EU Parliament is close to the position of the EU Council. So likely the decision will be made probably in favor of the postponement of the EUDR, right? So it still needs to be finalized and formalized in December, and the appropriate law needs to be published in before the end of the 2025. So in the coming weeks, basically. But it looks like there is a high likelihood that it will be postponed by 1 more year. And the impact could be, so we spoke recently with a large group, and they said that, again, it's just an opinion, please. We share what we hear. I'm trying to be careful because what they said that they will try not to pay EUDR premiums because of this. But again, I also understand the supplier's position who invested money into the EUDR compliance, and they are charging premiums. So I would say no, that some large organizations, they will try either to reduce the premium for the EUDR or not to pay it. So in this case, this postponement of the EUDR law puts suppliers under pressure, right? Because on the one hand side, they invested into the compliance, but on the other hand side, they now face resistance from the buyer's side to either not charge the EUDR premiums or charge smaller premiums. So we will monitor these EUDR premiums because we have our EUDR benchmarks. So I'm gonna show it quickly. So we have both for PKO and CPKO.
Yeah.
For crude palm oil, we have forward prices. I'm just gonna show you. So here you can see in the forward price position widget, you can choose crude palm oil EUDR. And I'm gonna remove coconut oil for now. Oh, sorry, rapeseed oil, which I used for the highlights. Yeah, so you can see various positions for crude palm oil EUDR C for Rotterdam. So this benchmark includes EUDR premium, and we will do this job of monitoring whether these premiums change or not in the coming month. Probably, I think there is a chance that they might potentially become lower. I'm not sure if they will fully disappear or not. Maybe not, but there is some space for them to become lower potentially.
Perfect. Thank you so much, German. We will monitor these developments definitely. Let's move to soybean oil now. I heard about the large soy oil purchases made by India, right? That drove prices up. Could you please explain what happened a little bit?
Mhm. Yeah, so India, as we always say, is the very big buyer of vegetable oils, and it frequently changes the situation of the market by buying large volumes or not buying them. So in this case, I'm gonna share my screen and show, for example, Argentinian benchmark. So Bloomberg published news, and I think one of the big Indian companies was mentioned there. Let me choose Argentinian benchmark. Okay. So basically, yeah, prices increased by $30 or $40 from the previous week, because yeah, Bloomberg shared news that India will commit to purchasing of 150,000 metric tons of soy oil for 4 months. So each month, during 4 months, each month they will be buying 150,000 metric tons of soy oil, and it will take place from April to July. And according to the article by Bloomberg, that was done because of the fears that biodiesel program in Indonesia, B50, which we frequently discuss, and also some of the land seizure in Indonesia. So these two factors could tighten the supply of palm oil to the global markets. And because of this, some of the large Indian importing companies, buyers, they decided to secure some of the volumes in advance from Latin America, I think maybe from Argentina. And these drove prices strongly up. I would say it's a strong supporting factor. Also, it was done not just because of the fears of tighter palm oil supply, but also because of the poor sunflower harvest this year. It also impacted the decision. But we will need to see how the market will digest this news, because yeah, the prices went up a lot. But then recently the news came that some of the small volumes were cancelled by India. So we're gonna see if it will be a real bullish factor or not. But so far, market takes it very seriously, and you can see that in the price jump for soy oil.
Well, it looks like quite a bullish factor indeed. What about the U.S. Biodiesel policy? Any updates there?
Yeah, so in terms of US biodiesel policy, I think last week, if I'm not mistaken, there were some rumors that so basically to give some context, maybe for those who don't follow it too regularly. So US said that they are planning to restrict or eliminate credits for imported biodiesel, right? Because the US has been importing a lot of biodiesel, including from Europe. And that measure of restricting foreign biodiesel was meant to stimulate local production and increase demand for soybean oil within the United States, and decrease the export of soybean oil out of the United States. So basically, bullish factor for the soybean oil price. But then some rumors were circulating that this measure could be postponed into 2027 or 2028. This basically limitation of credits to for foreign imported biodiesels. But since that news came last week, nothing happened yet, so no official updates. So we're gonna see if it's just rumors or if it's real. But to be honest, in the US, the situation is similar with the EUDR. It's quite funny because they still haven't finalized 2026 regulations for biodiesel, and we're in December, 4 weeks, till 2026. So biodiesel market is operating under complete uncertainty. But at the same time, if we talk about vegetable oil markets, I can see that vegetable oil usage in the US is strong. I mean, soybean oil, despite the uncertainty. But I think once the US finally, comes to the finalizing of the policies, they say, yeah, this is firm, the signatures are there, then soybean oil prices will become even stronger than now. But so far, there are some strong bullish factors, but they are not firm yet, let's say.
Perfect. Thank you, German. All right. Let's move to rapeseed, right? I heard some recent S&D updates that were published, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in terms of ES&D updates, it was there were two things. So the first one was that the balance, the production, the supply for the EU, the production mainly for the EU for rapeseed, the estimate was increased by a few 100,000 tons. So the production in the EU was good anyway, and now people say, basically looking back to the summer, they say that the production was even better, right? So this is that makes the supply strong this year within the EU, but also for the looking for the next year already. Multiple organizations, including International Grains Council, they see quite large planting area for the rapeseed globally, which could mean that there will be even stronger global rapeseed, let's say rapeseed plus canola production in 2026, 2027. So this is, I think, important for the companies who plan their sales or purchases for the summer of 2026, right?
Mm-hmm.
So far some bearish supply signals are coming that could be potentially leveraged.
Mm-hmm.
And also next week, Statistics Canada will be publishing their updates, I would say revised production estimate for canola for this season, and the market expectation that they will show again stronger numbers, higher production numbers for canola for this season. So far, indeed, as you pointed out, yeah, the rapeseed supply looks good, and the production estimates, they have been improved for this season, but also next season production is looking strong. But of course, as I'm going to show, of course, in the chart, this is relevant to what we are discussing now, because everything is so expensive now, including sunflower oil, soybean oil, rapeseed oil also get expensive, right? Despite good supply of rapeseeds, because in Europe they compete for.
It's funny when you look at the veg oil price is quite high, and then you look, for example, at the dairy markets or at bearish. It's like in this case, it's not really correlated.
No, of course not. No. So let me get rid of the most of the positions to make sure it's not too noisy, and then I'm gonna make sure it's So of course in Europe, the sunflower oil and rapeseed oil, they have quite big shares, and they frequently compete with each other. For the demand. And you can see that again, sunflower oil has been so expensive because of the tight supply. So you can see starting this summer, and you can see that the premium now of sunflower oil over rapeseed oil in the paper market is so high. So it's, let's see together, it's 100 over 100 euros on the spot. So that's why, even though you can say, there is a lot of rapeseed and rapeseed oil should be cheaper, but it's already traded at a good discount to sunflower oil. And just because of the expensive vegetable oils, rapeseed oil, also tends to get some strength from it.
Okay, thank you, German. Despite that, I see that rapeseed oil prices remain quite strong, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we just discussed. That's I mean, because we received the question that why, if rapeseed, the oil seed rapeseed is cheap or getting cheaper, why rapeseed oil is expensive. So the answer is because of the expensive sunflower oil.
Yeah. Okay, and talking about sunflower oil, how is the market performing? It's a luxury oil today.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, it's strictly speaking, that's indeed a premium oil. I'm sharing the historical prices in the forward prices positions widget. This is the euros price for Forbes Exports benchmark, and you can see that despite the talks about the correction, which I can imagine you had with our clients on the buy side or on the sell side, that people were expecting the correction to happen, but it hasn't really happened, as you can see in this chart. That's because bullish news, they keep coming. So it's both production, it stays tight, also recent news about the soybean oil purchases that we just discussed. It just makes it expensive. So if you look at, for example, sunflower prices in Ukraine, which is the largest producer in the Eastern Europe, I'm gonna click on Ukrainian best per price index, and I'm gonna keep CPT. So you can see this recent spike in the prices, which makes the raw material so expensive in one of the largest producing countries that sunflower oil prices it's very difficult to make them lower. And one of the large organizations in Ukraine, I just read the news today, they said that the competition in Ukraine will be so high, but also in Europe and in Russia and in Turkey for raw material, that in Ukraine, for instance, the gap between crushing capacity and the raw material availability will be 10 million metric tons, right? So if I basically translate it into a normal human language, basically plants will fiercely compete for the raw material. There is just not enough raw material to keep the plants busy. Yeah. But at the same time, people try to see when the correction could happen. So we received a couple of questions on when sunflower oil prices can start declining, and we think it could happen closer to the Argentinian harvesting, which normally takes place in end of February, March, April. So maybe February, March. That's when sunflower oil price correction is possible, exactly. Okay. But in December, January, so these bullish factors such as bullish supply for the sunflower, also strong soybean oil prices, also potentially higher palm oil prices, they might help sunflower oil price to stay strong. Maybe it will correct by a little, $10, $20, $30. But sunflower oil prices are so expensive now, so that people want basically larger correction, and possibly larger correction could take place closer to the Argentinian harvesting, according to market participants.
And the supply is super tight, right?
Exactly. Yeah, supply is super tight. So Ukrainian production is a few million metric tons, or I think I need to refresh my memory. It's either 1 or 2 million metric tons lower than last season. European production is also low. Turkish production, Russian production is much lower than expected. And also the beginning stocks this season were low. So that makes the situation very tight for sunflower.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry for all the procurement managers who has to buy sunflower oil just now. Because they will have to pay a bit of higher prices, unfortunately. Well, German, thank you very much for today webinar. Really interesting. Thanks also to everyone that joined us today. And I see you in 1 month, because FICO will do the next one in 2 weeks.
Thanks. See everyone in 2 weeks. Thanks, Maria. Bye.
Bye. Cheers.